Want to shop Walmart Black Friday deals first? Walmart Plus members get early access to our hottest deals. Join now and get 50% off a 1-year annual membership. Shop Black Friday deals first with Walmart Plus. See terms at walmartplus.com.
Snip, tuck, fold, crease, tuck, tape.
It's not that complicated, Dad.
Wrap, crease, tape, twist, tape.
Ohio Lottery scratch offs make great holiday gifts. And play Holiday Bonus Millions with a 200 times multiplier and a $2 million top prize.
Fold, crinkle, crinkle, roll.
Plus, you can enter non-winning tickets in My Lotto Rewards for a second chance to win up to 1,000 times the price of your ticket.
Please crinkle, gate, fold, ring, curl, scrunch.
The best part, Dad? No wrapping required.
No tuck, fold?
No tuck, fold.
Give the gift of fun. Lottery players are subject to Ohio laws and commission regulations. Play responsibly.
This episode is brought to you by Allstate. Some people just know they could save hundreds on car insurance by checking Allstate first. Like you know to check the date of the big game first before you accidentally buy tickets on your 20th wedding anniversary and have to spend the next 20 years of your marriage making up for it. Yeah, checking first is smart. So check Allstate first for a quote that could save you hundreds. You're in good hands with Allstate. Savings vary. Terms apply. Allstate Fire and Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Northbrook, Illinois.
Thanks for choosing this free Anfield Index podcast. If you'd prefer to listen to this or any of our other shows without adverts, then now's the time to check out Anfield Index Pro. With AI Pro, you can supercharge your entire listening experience. You'll not only get all of our podcasts without the ads, but you'll have them far faster with our Quick Publish feature available exclusively for subscribers. AI Pro also puts you in the heart of our sound studio, with an option to listen to many of our shows live and interact with the podcasters in real time as the shows are recording. Upgrading couldn't be easier. AI Pro is available on all popular podcast platforms. Just head on over to AnfieldIndexPro.com and get started today.
Hello and welcome to the Daily Red, your lunchtime catch-up on all things Liverpool FC on a Thursday when nothing is happening. It is the international break. It is very, very dull, but we have bits and pieces of news. So first thing I want to start with is the David Coote situation. So since the initial video comes out where he made some derogatory comments about Jurgen and his little buddy in the video made some derogatory comments about Scousers and Liverpool fans in general, a lot more has happened, and it's really gathered pace at a very strange rate, which suggests that some of this may have already been known in certain quarters and was maybe being suppressed. I'd love to know how it is that video found its way into that specific Twitter user's hands, why it is that it wasn't released earlier, why it is that it wasn't given to perhaps a media outlet, maybe for risk of them suppressing it, I don't know. But that video allegedly, the initial one, was filmed after Aston Villa beat us 7-2. So that's over 4 years ago. It's odd that it has taken that long for it to come out. So then he gets suspended by the PGMOL. Then news starts to come out through Darren Lewis in the Mirror that he's denied that it's real. Then very shortly after, he accepted that it was real, but couldn't remember making the comments. And then it was this avalanche of stuff that started to come out. I'm not going to get into some of it. It was put out by one user on Twitter. He has since deleted those posts. I assume, I don't know why. He said he got advice to delete them, but there is a video going round which is a screen capture of the entire thread. It's up to you if you want to read it. It's quite dark, and, you know, the more that's come out, the more I just think maybe we should all take a step back and allow this to play out in its own way. David Coote appears to be a very troubled individual, and the last thing any of us want is to wake up someday to a news bulletin that David Coote has done something irreversible. There is, of course, another video that's done the rounds of him seeming to snort some white substance, which, look, it could be anything. Could be a bit of talcum powder, could be washing powder, could be dandruff that he's collected from himself over the years. We're not here to make judgment. But obviously there is a substance issue to this as well, which, is quite a serious thing. And again, it's not something that any of us should be deriding the man over. It's not something that any of us should be really commenting on. It's something that he needs to deal with in whatever manner he can. And I think it's best if we all just take a step back. He has also been suspended, it must be said, by UEFA. So we won't be seeing David Coote for the foreseeable future, if ever again. I doubt we see him again in the Premier League. I have some doubts we ever see him referee international games or in European competition. Maybe he has a future in the lower leagues, maybe not. I think the most likely outcome is he ends up refereeing in the Middle East if he wishes to stay in the profession. So let's just all, as a collective group, put all of that to one side and allow investigations and whatever else needs to play out without showing any sort of bias intent. I know we were all furious when the initial video came out, and I think when it was just the first video and then it was just the excuses around the first video, I don't remember. That's just funny. Sorry, Your Honor, I was drunk. I don't remember doing it. That's not any kind of defense, really. That part was funny, but it's gotten dark since then. And I think for our own mental health, if nothing else, it's best to all just take a step back and allow this to play out in whatever way it plays out. Other news. So I've talked before about the Spanish media. The Real Madrid-controlled Spanish media. You've basically got three sets of media in Spain. You've got the really independent media, which covers things from a general state. You've got the Barcelona, from a sporting point of view I'm talking about here. You've got the Barcelona bias media, which is sizable, but probably less than a third of the total media. It might be maybe 1/5 of the total media. Maybe 2/5 are, unbiased, independent, balanced across the board. And the other 2/5 are Real Madrid centric, serving at the pleasure of Florentino Perez, doing his bidding as and when he asks. Such is the power that he wields. Such is the draw of Real Madrid and the control that they have. So, we have had reports in recent days that Trent Alexander-Arnold has told Liverpool he won't sign a new deal and that he wants to join Real next summer. Now, David Lynch has spoken to This Is Anfield and explained that talks are still ongoing. There has been no suggestion from Trent as yet that he won't sign a new contract. And that he, the possibility of him staying is still very much there. But we'll have to just wait and see. As I've said many times, it may well turn out that he goes to Real Madrid. But as of right now, he has not told Liverpool that that's the case. If and when he does tell Liverpool that's the case, that he doesn't want to sign a new contract, he wants to go, you can expect Paul Joyce, David Ornstein and the rest to have that news within 30 seconds of it coming out of Trent's mouth. And you can expect the club to start spinning things against him, because that's what will happen. for now, everybody just needs to settle down, let it play out. The club are working on it. Trent will have to make a decision soon. I lean towards maybe he goes, but I am kind of in the middle of it. There's days I wake up and I think, yeah, he'll stay. You know, when I watch him and I watch the effort level that he's putting in, particularly on the defensive end, I think that's a guy who's committed to this club. But then there's days where I wake up and think, well, why is it taking this long? Why is it still dragging on with him? I kind of understand it with Virgil and to a greater extent Mo. But with Trent, you know, he's just turned 26. There shouldn't really be any issue with contract length. There shouldn't really be a huge issue with money. Now, if he's looking to be the highest paid player at the club, that's where I do think it could be a bit of an issue, because I don't think the club will want to make him. I don't think the club should make him the highest paid player. I don't think your fourth best player should be your highest paid player. But, you know, that's what it is. That's what it is. With Virgil, I think it's literally just a matter of time before he signs and agrees. It's all done. I think years might have been a bit of a sticking point there, but I think when the club take a step back and assess the market on who might replace him, I think they'll realise pretty quickly that there isn't a replacement out there, really. There are some. All of them would cost 75 million plus. Otherwise, you're talking about a significant step back. Even the ones that are 75 million plus are a significant step back, but they're further along in the path. Like, if you were going to say, well, you know, there's another Lenny Yoro out there, and that's who we're going to go and get. Okay, you know, I can see the considerable upside there, but you're going to be 4 years maybe before they're at an elite level. If they're 17, 18, 19, you know, 3 to 4 years before they're really at an elite level. If it was let's just say Bastoni, I think he's the best non-Liverpool centre-back in the world. It's still a step back, but he's walking in, he's already at an elite level. Like, he is already a top defender. But he's going to be 75 million plus. So it's either a very, very expensive option, or it's that comes with no guarantees, or it is the young, again, no guarantees option that is going to take a couple of years to really get where you want to go. With Mo, I think years is probably a bit of an issue. But I think if they can come to terms on years with Virgil and go to Mo and say, well, look, this is what Virgil's agreed to on years. Can we work with this framework? I think that might be a possibility. Money is going to be an issue with Mo. Mo is the highest paid player at the club. It's not close. He earns $100,000 a week more than anybody else. Mo also owns his own image rights, which is a massive factor. And it's something the club have always kind of folded on, is that Mo gets to control his own image rights, which is why we don't see him in a lot of advertisements for the club. There's not a lot of merch that's just Mo. And whatever has to be agreed with Mo's camp. But I do wonder if the club are maybe thinking, you know, we don't want to be paying you $350,000 a week in 3 years' time. I don't know whether Mo is asking for more or the same, or if he's open to a little bit less. I don't know. But as I've said before, like, being completely honest about this, with those two in particular, with Virgil and Mo in particular, I think the club should just bite the bullet, get those contracts done, even if it's not what you wanted, even if it's an extra year that you weren't really willing to bend on, but to get it done, you have to give the extra year, even if it's an extra, I don't know, 50 grand a week. Ultimately, Jurgen left in the summer. Arne probably earns less than half what Jurgen was earning. Thiago left in the summer. That's 200 grand a week. Joel Matip left in the summer. That's probably 150 grand, 140, 150 grand. So between just those three departures, you're probably talking about 22.5 million a year that the club save from last season to this. 5 million on Jurgen, from Jurgen to Arne. 10 million on Thiago, but 7.5 then on Joel.
Want to shop Walmart Black Friday deals first? Walmart Plus members get early access to our hottest deals. Join now and get 50% off a 1-year annual membership. Shop Black Friday deals first with Walmart Plus. See terms at walmartplus.com.
At Sierra, discover top workout gear at incredible prices, which might lead to another discovery. Your headphones haven't been connected this whole time. Awkward. Discover top brands at unexpectedly low prices. Sierra, let's get moving.
Time to work on your gift list with Black Friday deals at the Home Depot. Right now, get a select tool from top brands like Ryobi and Milwaukee for free when you buy a select battery kit. Choose from reciprocating saws, multi-tools, sanders, and more. Whether you're stocking up on power for your personal workshop or grabbing the perfect gift for someone else's. Get Black Friday tool deals delivered from the Home Depot. Limit 1 per transaction. Exclusions apply. Full eligible tool list in-store and online.
That money could easily cover the cost of these extensions and should cover the cost of these extensions. And as I've said before, with Virgil, Mo, and Trent, but we didn't buy Trent, but with Virgil and Mo, they have more than repaid every single cent that you have invested in them, or penny in the case of English folk listening. Every single dollar, pound, euro, whatever that you have put into them, they have given you back, and then some. Pound for pound, both Mo and Virgil have proven to be absolutely bargains. They have been incredible performers for this club, for their tenure at the club. Like, Virgil's had one bad year where he was better than most centre-backs in the league, but well off his own level. Every other season, he's been fit, he's been by far the best defender in the league. Every other season. So he misses 2021, and he has a bad 22-23. But for the back end of 17-18, all of 18-19, all of 19-20, all of 21-22, all of 23-24, and thus far this season, Virgil van Dijk has been the best centre-back, not just in England, but in the world. So he's helped you win a Champions League. He's helped you get to 2 of the finals. He's helped you win a league title. He's helped you win 3 cups. He has repaid everything. And he should be given a contract that reflects the status of what he's done for the club. And the same goes for Mo. The same goes for Mo. 17-18, 18-19, 19-20, 20-21, 21-22, 22-23. And up until Christmas of last year, he was the best winger in the league. The best winger in the league. There were spells where maybe Sadio was better or maybe Son was better, but across that entire time, it's been Mo. It's been Mo. He's always fit. He never gives less than 100%. He scores goals at an ungodly level. He creates goals at a world-class level. He terrifies the living shit out of every team he goes up against. And he delivers over and over and over and over and over again. And he does it with a smile on his face. And the 2 biggest things about those 2 is there's never a controversy. There's never a question mark against them. Their character is impeccable. They're positive individuals who make positive impacts on the club, the city, and everybody in their orbit. Everybody that comes across them, the people where they're from, the people they grew up with. Those people's lives are all much, much better because they know Virgil van Dijk and Mohamed Salah. These are high-quality, high-caliber individuals, and that's what the club needs. In our leadership group, that's what the club needs. We have those two. We have Ali. There's never, ever, ever been even a hint of controversy around any of them. There's never been a hint of grumbling, griping, any of it. None of them have ever run to the media to whinge or cry. None of them have allowed their contracts to play out in public. I know Mo's agent from time to time says things, but he doesn't say anything specific about the contracts. Like, he's never come out and said Liverpool are a bunch of cheap bastards when he probably could have. You know, these guys want to be at the club. They want to stay at this club, the club that they've helped rebuild. And for all the praise that Jurgen warrants, and he does warrant it, these two, Mo, or these two, Ali, and others, obviously, others that were in that team, your Bobbies, your Sadios, your Ginnies, your Joels, Joe, Robbo, Henderson, Milner, they all deserve credit. But the big three of Virgil, Mo, and Ali deserve more credit than any of the other players because they're the world-class game changers, the ceiling raisers. Give them what they want and get these deals done. If you lose Trent, you lose Trent. Do not lose Virgil or Mo. Trent, you can replace. Not like for like, but there's some really good right-backs out there that will not cost the sun, moon, and the stars. There are no right-wingers out there, or left-wingers, or 10s, or whoever you want to get to replace Mo, that will cost anywhere south of 75 million. That will be acceptable replacements. None. Same thing goes to centre-back. Jack Lusby has a piece on This Is Anfield about Pep Lijnders and what is going wrong at Red Bull Salzburg. So we have seen quite a rough start. He's 4.5 months in. They've played 21 games. They've won 11, drawn 5, and lost 5. Now, a couple of those losses, obviously, have come in the Champions League. And, like, let's be honest, the Austrian league it's not a weak league. It's strong internally, but when they're asked to step up to the next level against the very best of European competition, they do struggle. However, they haven't had a particularly tough run in the Champions League. Like, they should be able to match Sparta Prague. Instead, they lost 3-0. Brest, fair enough, they're a top 5 league team. They got whooped 4-0 at home, though. And then you lose 2-0 at home to Dinamo Zagreb. Both Sparta Prague and Dinamo Zagreb come from leagues that are comparable to yours, and you've been comfortably beaten by both. Now, they did beat Feyenoord, which was a really good result for them. In the Austrian Cup, they've won 3 games. They're going well in that. But in the league, you lost to Rapid Vienna. Fair enough. You lost to Sturm Graz. You lost to Linz at the weekend. It's actually 6 losses. I think Jack has his numbers wrong. I think it's 6 losses. It is 6 losses. It's 3 in the league and 3 in the Champions League. Losing to Sturm Graz is one thing. Losing to Linz and losing to Rapid Vienna, those are losses that really will not sit well drawing with Tyrol, drawing with Wolfsberger, these are not results that will sit well. The expectation for Red Bull Salzburg is to win the league every single season. And the reason that Gerhard Struber was fired was because he wasn't going to win the league last year. You know, if you go back to 22-23 with Matthias Jasle in charge, they win the league quite comfortably. The season before that, same manager, they win the league comfortably, and they also win the cup. In recent years, they've been very, very dominant in Austrian football. Starting in 06-07, which is when they became Red Bull Salzburg. They win the title. Well, they became Red Bull Salzburg a couple of years before that, but with the first title as Red Bull Salzburg. 06-07, 08-09, 09-10, so back-to-back, 11-12. Then you go 13-14, 14-15, 15-16, 16-17, 17-18, 18-19, 19-20, 20-21, 21-22, 22-23. They rattle off 9 titles in a row. Sorry, excuse me, that's 10 titles in a row. That's 10 titles in a row. And then they lost it last year, and that was unacceptable, so they sacked the manager. And Lijnders was brought in to get them back to winning. They've also won the Austrian Cup 9 times out of the last 12. They've been dominant. That's the only thing that's acceptable for them, is domestic dominance. And unfortunately, Pepin is not living up to what they wanted. I just don't think he's a good manager. I think he's a very good coach who needs to be kept in a defined role. Jurgen gave him too much power, gave him too much say, gave him too much oversight. And we suffered for it. We suffered for it. And now he's got the head role at Salzburg, and they're suffering for it. Bobby Clark obviously went there in the summer. I think it's fair to say it has, to date, not gone great for him. I think Bobby Clark is a very talented player, but he's only played 12 games. Now, he has had, I think, a couple of little injuries, but he's not a regular starter. They paid 10 million for him, which is a lot of money for Red Bull Salzburg to be paying. Stefan Bajcetic is there on loan. Likewise, I don't think it's gone great for him. Again, he's had a couple of injuries. You know, they've been managing him, trying to be careful with him. I don't think it's been great. I think he's had a couple of really poor performances. He got absolutely monstered by Malik Yalkoy, who is owned by Brighton, playing on loan at Sturm Graz. Wasn't just him, the whole midfield did, but it was notable because that was 2 young Premier League midfielders going head-to-head, and he got absolutely monstered. Now, Stefan missed so much football that it's understandable that he's still not back up to speed. But, you know, when 2 of your sort of big arrivals for the summer don't hit the ground running, that puts a manager under a bit of pressure. And it's, you know, look, it's his it's his second time as a manager, but it's his first real job as a manager with real pressure. And for now, it's not going well. It's just not going well. But we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. They won't give him too much rope, though. Like, he's going to need to turn things around pretty quickly. Gerald Quansah has been called up for the England squad. 9 players have withdrawn from the England squad. Jared Brandtwaite has pulled out. Brandtwaite obviously has missed quite a bit of this season with injuries, so it's kind of understandable that Everton would be hesitant to let him go, but It is what it is. In that piece David Lynch did where he spoke to This Is Anfield, he also talked about Martin Zubimendi and said that he believes Liverpool are still interested. Whether or not he's interested is the real question. Liverpool would still like to sign him, but he is the one that would have to make that decision. Let's check AnfieldIndex.com. We have quite a lot podcast-wise. I mentioned a bunch of it yesterday. Let's see. There was a piece on Joral Hato and links to him and suggestions that Virgil is keen on us adding him. He could be the solution at left back. There's a piece about the tactical changes that Arne Slot has made through the season. Piece about Mo, piece about Kwanzaa. Liverpool joins legal push for Manchester City compensation. So it seems like Liverpool, Arsenal, United, and I think Spurs are pushing for compensation for City's cheating, which, yeah, we'll see what happens. Podcast-wise, there is the Scouser Tommies. There is Under Pressure. There is Scouted. There is a new transfer show. It's Dave Davis and the good brother Trev Downey. So make sure you give that a listen. We've recorded a new Scouted today, which will come out, I assume, at some point over the weekend. And there is a Minefield, I believe, being recorded tomorrow. Dave Davis also has a couple of pieces in the works, so keep an eye on that. Over the weekend, there will be an Anfield Index podcast. And that appears to be it for now. There is that fatigue index. I believe there's another one to come next week. So keep an eye on that as well. Right, folks, that will do me for today. I'll see you all tomorrow. Good luck. Bye-bye.
We hope you enjoyed listening to this Anfield Index show. Please be sure to subscribe to our channel so future podcasts find their way to your device automatically. There's nothing quite like fan engagement, and we'd love to know what you think of anything discussed on this show. The best way to get in touch is over on our free Discord community, where both podcasters and listeners debate the hottest LFC topics 24/7. Sign up free now at AnfieldIndex.com/Discord. You won't regret it. You can also follow us on Twitter at Anfield Index and find us on Facebook by searching for Anfield Index. Oh, and before you go, we'd love it if you could leave us a 5-star review on your favourite podcast app. It only takes a couple of seconds, and it means the world to the people who create these free shows.
This podcast is part of the Sports Social Podcast Network.